Hello YouTube, it's Turtimus. I'd like to take a page from the Other Side 100's book and just more or less talk at the camera for a few minutes. Now, primarily what I want to talk about today is my experience growing up and what led to me being an atheist. It starts off when I was very young. I was raised in a Roman Catholic family in which I was told to go to church every Sunday. Well, I was forced to go to church, which never made much sense to me, because granted, yeah, I was young. I was young and I would rather screw around on the weekends. But legitimately, I did ask the question, isn't believing in being a good person enough? So aside from church, I went to a couple of years of Catholic school until, thankfully, I got back into the public school system. Now, I maintained my belief in God for a long time. I say I was pretty mainline Roman Catholic up until about the age of 16 or so, when I started learning a lot in high school. I started learning more about sciences and stuff, and I didn't realize it at the time, but I was drifting away. I was drifting into more of a deistic belief. And the crux of this, of my religious experience in high school, was I was sitting in the library for a study hall one day, and I was having a discussion about evolution with just some people that I know, some friends and a couple acquaintances. One of the said acquaintances happened to be a very, very devoutly religious person, and she proceeded to just say that we're wrong, that evolution can't be fact, or whatever she said, and I said, why? And my friend, who's smarter than me, who knew more about evolution at the time, interjected by saying, you know, we have evidence, such as the fossil record, and you've heard all this before on YouTube in the past. And anyway, I wish she was joking about this, but she literally stuck her fingers in her ears and started singing the Jesus Loves Me song until we went away. That really frightened me, and it was an eye-opener. Now, I more or less put that out of my head, out of my thoughts for a while, and I still maintained my deistic approach until about, I want to say sometime in the last year. I had gotten to the point where my beliefs were so non-consequential. I believed there was a God, and that maybe if you're a good person, you're going to go to heaven. That you weren't going to be punished just on the basis of not believing in Jesus and accepting Him. Because I don't think I ever really did. And anyway, one day I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were discussing science, and we pretty much think the same things about it. We were discussing new things that we had been reading about. And he asked me, do you still believe in God? And I said, yes. And he said, why? And I had no better answer for him than, I just do. And I eventually started to look at this in the context of, I'm very scientific with everything else in my life. I'm very logical. I want evidence and reason. And I eventually realized that it was very contrary to my nature to believe in God. And once I realized that, I went through what I've heard is kind of a typical phase of being extremely scared of death. You know, if there is no God, what happens when we die? And then started to say, hey, everyone who's ever lived has died. Why is it something I should be afraid of? The only thing that should matter is to be the best person I can be in this life, and to positively affect all those around me, and in my own small way impact our society and make it as a whole better. Excuse me. And that leads me to where I am now. And I wonder if it's the right choice getting caught up on the religious debate, if you will, in YouTube. But here I am. Now, that said, I was planning on making a video about PCS's return, or whatever it was. And this is right before I no longer had a camera. I see here I have a very long thing written out. It's a couple thousand words of just notes. Just notes, digging into his response to the Thunderfoot Ray Comfort debate. But I'm only gonna mention two things. First is the ad hominem attack. And I saw this a lot. And I saw this a lot as not only from theists, but from atheists, with the little picking on Thunderfoot's stutter. So what? That's an ad hominem attack coming from most of you. Now granted, a lot of the atheists weren't attacking Thunderfoot for that, obviously, but they were saying it somehow detracted from his message. Well, to be honest, I don't see the point. The theists can be the car salesman all they want, but we don't have to be. It's not in how we say it, it's what we say that matters, at least in my opinion. Also, one thing that a lot of people seem to have a problem with, and a lot of theists harped on, was, why wouldn't Thunderfoot say, if rape was wrong, or whatever the examples were, I can't remember off the top of my head. And a lot of atheists also said, why couldn't he just answer, is it wrong or right? The reason being is Thunderfoot was trying to illustrate the fact that you can't say absolutely that something is right or wrong, because that would imply that there's some governing force that dictates universally what is right and wrong. Now, does Thunderfoot think murder and rape are wrong? I'm positive he thinks they're abhorrent, or however you say it. I'm pretty sure he abhors them. Does not think they're good, does not like them, probably is disgusted like any rational human being would be by them. Also, moving along, something PCS did really bothered me, and I went back and I counted. In the time frame between 8 minutes and 38 seconds and 9 minutes and 20 seconds in PCS's video, he said, "You're wrong" 5 times, and "not right" 4 times. So in the span of 42 seconds, without presenting any reasoning why, PCS basically just repeatedly said that Thunderfoot was wrong. Us atheists always say we want logic and reasoning behind someone's views, and that is just an amazingly profound example of a stupid hardcore fundamentalist not understanding that. I saw 3 new comments. I was very excited because I haven't made a video in a while, and all 3 comments were by the same guy saying very terrible things to me. It really showed just a level of douchebaggery that I don't see that much on YouTube. I was called a birth defect. I'd be lucky to get laid in a morgue, basically saying, I should die, I should get put in a gas chamber. And all of these comments were posted on 3 of my more recent videos about religion. Me responding to a couple, actually 3 of them were responding to religious videos and pointing out what I saw were flaws in them. To this mystery theist, you need to understand, and a lot of people like you need to understand, ad hominem attacks won't work on us. You don't further your cause at all, you only make yourself look bad. As I like to say, daylight is the best kind of cure for scum like yours. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll be back to making videos. I'm going to lose this camera again, as per someone requesting it for a vacation. I'll be losing this again in about a week's time, but in about a week's time it'll be my birthday, and I think I've found a camera I want to buy to kind of treat myself. So, and the quality's pretty good, so I'll probably get it, and I'll be making better videos, and I won't have to deal with this awkward camera angle of quite literally a digital camera sitting on a monitor. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you come back and see any new videos I make. As usual, rate, comment, subscribe, or what have you. This is Turtimus, and I will see you later.